Blame Biden. Everybody blames Biden for inflation, high grocery prices, high gas prices. But is it fair? Well, some of the most interesting financial data that I love to look at comes from the St. Louis Fed. And this is a graph of money supply, okay? This is like how many dollar bills are there. Crypto taught us a lot about how to think of currencies, didn't it? This is basically a graph of the number of coins, you could think of it in US dollars, and I have it perfectly zoomed in to show us 2 years of Biden and 4 years of Trump. And what do we notice? I mean, of course we had coronavirus, but as soon as Biden took office, look, the curve just flattened out. Trump, Biden. Ready to melt your brain? We're about to shatter your reality. Here's a graph of DXDY. Now this is the US dollar, the strength compared to most of the other major currencies in the world. You could think of this like Bitcoin dominance for the US dollar. And I got it pulled up from the 80s here. Believe it or not, the dollar is at a 20-year high. You have to go back to the 80s to see such a high. Another thing to note, most of these highs, usually that's with the Fed's raising interest rates and all that before a major crash. So how could it be that the US dollar is so strong, but people are experiencing such inflation at high prices? How's that even possible? Well, the first thing, remember, these are relative to all the other currencies, so the first option of how that is possible is that all the other countries are having even way worse inflation than the United States. These two graphs combined together basically prove Republican-owned businesses are price gouging the hell out of American citizens. And what's been really interesting through the Fed raising the rates is how fake the stock market is. We've given these billionaires enough money to buy their own shares for 1,000 years. Now I've got up the graph of the S&P 500. If there's one thing we know about Republicans, they're willing to do anything to win, even if it means blowing up the United States, price gouging, or killing people with coronavirus misinformation. This graph and the balance of your 401k is something that those rich Republican business owners have total control of. I'm expecting that they will stop their buybacks and just crash this market going into the midterms. And of course, they'll blame it on Joe Biden, and all the dumbest Americans will believe them 100%.